Alright, alright, alright. We are at round number 6. So there we go. We go public. Alright, alright, alright. We are live with the stream. And we have 3 minutes left of the practice session. After which we will go through with the qualifying for this round number 6. Let me quickly take a look, a little look-see look at the standings. So, currently, after 4 races, is it correct? 4 races? Yes, it is correct. 4 races completed, 4 races left to go. And currently leading the overall championship is BX Royal with 435 points. Then we have Hammerlund in second place, following with 420 points. Morrow in third with 415 points, and Wilson with 412 points in fourth place. It's all very closely matched. Of course, there is a difference between the gold and silver rated drivers, but for now we look at the overall classification. So 30 seconds remain of this practice session. Let's go to track, see what people are up to. Lots of people parked in the pit lane. Here we have black in the pitch black landscape, making their way through the fast sweeping final part of the lap. Personally, one of my favorites. as it is qualifying time. Go, 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 as you heard the race engineers say. As people are already venturing out on track, including Winters, who is the first one out on the circuit. If you may not know, because of the enormous length of the circuit, you can make a shortcut at the end of the Grand Prix loop to start your lap from there. Use a bit of time save, and also that way you can possibly make 2 laps, or should be well enough for 2 timed laps. Even if you mess up in the first lap, you can still get back and do a second lap. So, some facts and stats about this famous circuit. We're talking about the Nürburgring Nordschleife, as it is known in full. People normally just call it Nordschleife because everyone knows what you're talking about. It's located in Nürburgring in Germany. It was opened in 1927, so nearly 100 years ago. I'm sure that there will be some sort of celebration with that. And we quickly take a look at the overtaker here. You will see them, instead of turning left, they will turn right, go through the barriers there, and they will start their flying lap. Otherwise known as the Green Hell, named by Jackie Stewart in the late 90s or mid-late 90s, because of the daunting challenge this circuit holds to every single one who drives there. It makes for an interesting show of bravery and also focus, as you are not able to lose a single moment of focus throughout this entire race, because then you will just end up in a barrier. What also makes this track a real hell is the fact that it's a very narrow circuit with no real runoff, especially no solid runoff. It's all grass or gravel. It's also very bumpy and highly technical, as well, as I mentioned before. Also with a lot of elevation changes throughout the lap, around 300 meters of elevation change from start to finish. I have not really seen the forecast. I will quickly check on that. There is a chance of rain, although it's not likely that there will be any rain. But if so, it can shake things up a whole lot, seeing that just like Spa, actually, the Nürburgring Nordschleife has its own little microclimate. And what makes it even worse is because of the sheer length of the track, you can have rain on one end and sunshine on the other side. Or incredibly dense fog like we saw last year with the annual 24 hours of the Nordschleife. Even completing a lap here is already enough of a task, let alone making it a valid lap time, which is ultimately what you need for qualifying. Like Freivogel has already invalidated their lap time. I think Oliver behind as well, seeing that they went off circuit and now returned to the pit lane. Just getting your eye in is also very much of the importance, as this track having this high difficulty rating, you really want to just get everything right, or at least right to the point that you are not crashing or invalidating your lap time. As there was a brief yellow flag up ahead, which has been cleared now, and you do see that Caraballo has blue flags from Glyn behind, seeing that Caraballo has invalidated their lap time already. They should move out of the way, or at least not hold up Glyn. Let's see if they do that. So far it's not looking likely that Caraballo will let Glyn pass, but it is what it is. Here also Scanlon and Gertz very close behind one another. That's also one of the tricky bits. And you see Gertz, they're just backing off. This qualifying lap already in the bin, and I believe they even returned to the pit lane. So that is their lap. Not necessarily wasted, but at least it's a bit of an annoyance. As I believe the 999 car, that would be Van Eyck's Mercedes, has messed up and returned to the pit lane. Luckily, we can return to the pit lane when we crash in real life. It's slightly different. Let's ride on board for a brief moment with Winters, as we're nearing the end now of the lap. Here we have a little jump coming right up. There you hear that. And then we have the daunting downhill section. You should be able to keep it flat if you get the line correct. Because if you mess up, you are in big trouble. Only a few more corners left to go. And then the long back straight. Winters there a little bit wide out of the final corner. Will lose him some top end speed on the Dottingerhohe. You can get a big slipstream battle during the race down here. So we might see some moves happening into the braking zone. There's also a big thing around here, because you need the downforce for the corners, but on the straights you do not want to be a sitting duck, especially on this back straight. So you need to make the right balance between downforce and straight line speed. as Winters will be the first one to cross the start finish line, and it will be an 8-minute 21.1. I think they should be fairly happy with that. I believe Cabras made an error in the final section of the lap and comes home with an 8-minute 26. Overtaker with an 8-minute 10.6, putting them on provisional pole position. Weatherston with an 8-minute 17. Of course, lap times can be there, but they need to be valid as well. As Venter and Glynn coming up to the start finish line. Venter coming in with an 8-minute 34.5 and Glynn with an 8-minute 28.9. So let's quickly take a look. So you can see BX Royal is completing their lap time, but for instance Scanlon, Cabras, I believe Moro as well, all invalidated their lap time, or Moro might be going for it now. And either way, getting a valid lap time in is maybe more important than getting a quick lap time in, because you can gain a lot of positions already from the start just by getting a valid lap time in. As Turney and Moro very closely behind one another. Currently Turney in 10th and Scanlon in 12th, but Turney has set a valid lap time. Scanlon has not, so will there be an overtake on a qualifying lap? That's impressive. Scanlon makes it, sorry, Moro makes it through rather nicely. And Turney doesn't seem to have lost a whole lot of time, still up on their personal best lap time. But a lot of time can be gained and found around here, but also be lost. So BX Royal did a 8-minute 13.3, but it was invalidated. It would have put them in P2 provisionally. But because it was invalid, it did not count. So this is the last shot they have to make it count. Otherwise they will be starting further down the field. Paris in the Bentley, 7/10 up on their time as they had to I don't know what sector this is called. That's the thing, because it's such a big circuit, knowing all the corner names, very difficult. I will quickly take a look. This section of the track would be we're coming up to The right side? Oh, we have just... No, I am totally losing it now, am I? No, I'm not. Now we're coming up to Bergwand. That's the one. Or Bergberg, sorry. Then we go to Kasselchen. Did you know that there was a bit of a shortcut in the early days? Where we now have the carousel, or the right-hander before the carousel, the tight hairpin. If you go straight there, there is a... I believe it was there at least. You can shortcut the track all the way towards the... after the left-hander and then the right-hander after the carousel, if you get what I mean. It's a very steep road. It's like 17% incline. It was more used as a maintenance road, but in the early days, though, it was an actual road. So there we have Winters again on their second push lap. Already having a valid lap time on the board. Currently P4. With 1.6, 1.7 seconds up as they head towards the final bit of the lap. Little jump right there. Nearly keeping it pinned. Losing a couple of tenths now. But I think there's still some time left to be gained in the final corner before the Dottinger Hole. As Winters went particularly wide there on their previous push lap. 1.8 seconds up. Let's see if they can manage this time better. Still wide. Ooh, nearly spinning off. Still gaining some time, but losing again on the exit speed. Currently 1.9 seconds up. Will get them below the 8-minute 20s. Also think yellow flags are shown really early. Like for this instance, it's someone in the pit lane, but Winters already got to see the yellow flag on the back straight. Gaining a little bit of time back in the final braking zone. It will be around 2 seconds up on their time, and that should be qualifying done for them in 8-minute 19.2. Doesn't improve their position as of yet, but that might give them some breathing room. We still have people starting their lap. Which they are entitled to do, but already 2 seconds up for Goods. I'm not sure if I believe that, if that would be the case. They are already on for an 8-minute 10, which is doable. Bit wide through the opening section of the Nordschleife. Then coming up to Flugplatz. There have been terrible accidents there in the past, including one car flipping over the barrier and killing one spectator. Now we head to Swedenkreuz. I think in total actually there have been 200 lives claimed, at least in racing around the circuit. Also with the current day and age toeristenfahrten, last month there was also, I believe, one deadly accident. So yeah, it is indeed a very difficult circuit still to this day and age. If Guts is really up by 4 seconds, hats off to you, mate. That's already an 8-minute 8, which would be almighty impressive. Ooh, maybe a little bit wide. You can just hear the tire scream for mercy, because they don't really get any rest until they get to the Dottinger's Hoe, and then they cool off a lot. So also pressures are very difficult. As I hear that Warrior has messed up their lap time in the final 2 corners, invalidated there. Yeah, indeed, that's invalidated lap time will not count. So that's a big shame for them. .7 seconds up. Gus is finding time everywhere they go. There you can see it on the left hand side. Big uphill ramp. That I previously mentioned. Nine seconds up. Could this be a sub 8 minutes? That shouldn't be the case, right? The delta must be lying. We cannot do anything else really than wait and see. Ten seconds up now. I have to say, so far it has been really clinical from Guts. As we get on board with helmet cam to just get a bit of sense of what the driver actually sees. 12 seconds green with only a handful of corners left to go. Including the mini carousel right here. And then the Dottingo on for an sub 8 minute lap time. As it stands now, overtaker currently on provisional pole position. Then is BX Royal, then Schmidt, Weatherston, Morrow, Winters, Popov, Cabras, Paris, who's still on a flying lap. Popov is not, but Paris is. Let's quickly see Oliver as well. Still on a flying lap. I cannot change back to guts now anymore. That's a bit annoying. Oliver coming up to the start finish line. And it is an improvement by 5 seconds, puts them P15. And Goods goes a second under or over overtaker's time with a 8 minute 10. Still a very impressive lap time. As only Paris is left out on circuit. Ooh, nearly too wide. That's gonna cost them big time, getting a wrong line through here. Seemingly holding it well together, but you can see Scanner, Warrior, Bayless, Morris, Zangari and Dundee's all not able to set a lap time. That was a valid lap time at least. So they will start from the back of the field. Ooh, a bit wide, coming onto the Dottinger. Final bit of the circuit left to run. Only one real braking point. 2 more corners. First a right-hander over the curb. And then the left-hander straight and out. Onto the main straight. And making a slight improvement, not an improvement in position, to get it into P10. So there we have it. Overtaker on pole position. Alongside will be Guts. There's BX Royal current championship leader. Then we have Schmidt, Weatherston, Morrow, Winters, Popov, Cabros and Paris making up the top 10. Vrijvogel, Van Eyck, Glynn, Morda, Caraballo, Oliver, O'Leary, Venter, Black and Turney make up the top 20, with Fitzpatrick being in 21st, last one to make a valid lap time. Scanlon, Warrior, Bayliss, Moore, Zangari and Dundee's all failed to get a competitive or a valid lap time in, so they will start from the back of the field. And yes, you see that correct. It is dark out there. A full-on night race to make this race happen will make for an interesting race. Even more so because if you just have a little touch of the barrier, you might lose your headlights, and then around this circuit with no headlights, yeah, good luck. Good luck with that. I like that we hear cars driving around, but there is no car, or at least no one is driving. 1.5 minutes left to go. Of course, we're not doing a full-on formation lap, that would be way too long. We're starting already past the halfway point of the Dottinger. A lot of time to weave as it is all just straight. And then we make ourselves up for the big race. We are going to hit drive. See the focus, the sheer will on the face of Overtaker. As we will make ourselves ready to start the formation straight, not really a lap. Overtaker already getting a lot of speed up ahead. Trying to get some desperate temperature in those brakes. I think they went a little bit too far. Needing to wait for everyone else to catch up with them. As they are already side by side, eagerly waiting to get underway. Not a full formation lap, it's now, as soon as they get onto the main straight, it is race time. Already lining up alongside one another. Coming around the final corner. It's a Ford 1-2 on the grid. With the Lexus and a Ferrari behind. As we await the green light. And it's go, 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 pedal to the metal. As we make our way down to turn number 1. It's a very tight corner here. Lots of stuff can happen. As Gertz is already looking somewhat up the inside, not really able to make it work. But there, BX Royal with the Lexus car, trying to get through for second place. In the background we had someone half spinning. The Lexus still having the inside line into turn number 3, but not quite alongside enough. Gertz retains the place. As Van Eyck has had a moment, dropping down quite a lot. As I believe they started in P12 or somewhere and are already down to the back of the grid. Everyone else seemingly having an alright start. Back to the front. Is Gertz going to make a move? Not quite. As Cabros there a little bit deep into or out of the Schumacher S's. It is all single file as of now, and it will be for the most part of the lap. Getting through that chicane nicely. And now we get onto the Nordschleife. And being nighttime, there's nightlife, and you can see those lights flashing. There is fireworks, there is barbecues, there is campfires. You name it, it will be there. An amazing crowd as always. Lasers, party tents, people screaming, cheering, you name it. Everything is happening all at once. All line astern as of now. But so far, I haven't seen any yellow flags, which is a good sign. Top 4 already trying to break away from the rest of the pack. The quicker you do that, the more you have in hand. Sorry, the top 5 I should say. The transponder with BX Royal doesn't really quite seem to work. I think it has settled down now, so now we all have the correct positions. So it is P5 indeed for Schmidt. The 1-1 car chasing the 1 car of Morrow in the Porsche. As in behind you can just see how tight it is. 3 cars in less than a second apart. Coming through Vauxhall with the compression. Scandal now finding themselves in last position. There is a yellow flag. Who is it? It is Bayliss. Bayliss has pinned it. If we can find them, that is, then we can see what happened to them maybe. I have no clue what happened to them. I believe actually they have retired. That's why I couldn't find them. As we have 139 with yellow flags. Who is that? Still need to learn the numbers. It is Turney. Turney has made an error. And that error has cost them quite a lot of positions. In fact, all the positions they had, because they're now down to last place. Hopefully without any damage. At least the front isn't badly damaged. There might be a couple of scrapes, but nothing much to mention. Around a second gap is usual around this place. Although that's a little bit closer than a second. That is 3/10. Popov versus Cabras. Lexus versus Porsche. I think all of the cars are quite equal. Some have strengths in different places. Some have weaknesses in other. Was that a yellow flag? What has happened? I think Morrow might be in trouble. Oh, and that's a close one. Morrow trying to rejoin back onto the circuit and in doing so nearly causing another collision. Luckily no harm done there. But still a scary incident nonetheless. But they continue on their way. As Wetterson has fallen away a little bit, dropping a couple of positions. Now it is Winters in 4th place. But everyone just seemingly running away. Overtaker already 2 seconds clear of the next best place car by the name of Gertz. And now they're getting on to the Dottinger. The long straight. I believe this is even a longer straight than we have at Paul Ricard, which is already a monstrous straight. Popov just ahead of Cabras, and you can just see how bouncy the circuit is, even on a straight. It is still bouncing a lot, almost like the Mercedes F1 car in 2022. Porpoising all over the place, although today not quite porpoising, as there is no ground effect in these cars, only downforce. But I can safely say I think that was a successful opening lap. And guess what? Almost over 10% of the way already completed, even more, 15% of the way already done. Winters, Smith and Wetterson all very close to one another. 1 second between the three of them. And this could become very spicy very soon. Schmidt nearly running into the back of Winters. As 999 is already in the pit lane, that is Dennis. Dennis van Eyck is already in the pit lane. Is it a scheduled stop? It might be, because it's still one mandatory pit stop. With refueling and taking your pit stop right now, you can make it to the end and you will have clear in front of you. So actually, Van Eyck might be onto something here. I am surprised that no one else really took it up. Of course, downside is, if you have some damage later on in the race, you will need to make a secondary pit stop, and that will lose you a lot of time. Instead of repairing it with your scheduled mandatory pit stop. As up ahead there is a yellow flag. Who is that? It seems to be BX Royal. Oh, and the Ferrari is spun as well. The Ferrari is spun as well. Be careful, guys, be careful. Oh, and it's mayhem. It is absolute carnage. Cars parked in the middle of the road. Still yellow flags are out there. Cabras got them going again. Or just gonna pass them all. Still yellow flags are out. It's very difficult to re-enter the circuit from this position. Still the Ferrari of Schmidt is still on the side there. We will definitely need to take a look back and see what happened there. Oh, and the BMW of Black having a little bit of moment. Everybody getting tangled up behind one another. As in front there's another yellow flag showing. This time it is for Morda. Morda has had an incident. Oh, they're right on the circuit. Oh, they've been tagged. And there's a big incident between a lot of cars. And that is surely going to be a big expensive build to recover all the damage. Warrior trying to get going again. Manages to swing it round. And getting back on the circuit. Oh, but that's massive implications for the rest of the race. I think it all has calmed down a little bit here. Oh, but that was scary. I was so scared that there would be an airplane crash. In the end, there was some sort of airplane crash, to be honest. But oh, this is yeah, a sad sight to see. Nothing people could do really. Still, we need to press on, and pressing on is Overtaker, as we have some more retirements. I think we are down 3 or 4 in total already, which is understandable after having that many collision. Sangari is returned to the pit lane, being towed back for some damage repair, I would think. Oh, I can only save the replay. That's a shame. I will do it anyway, so we can have a better point to search for. So we have to wait for the end of the race to see what did actually happen there. And Van Eyck is doing his strat again of driving without lights. I have seen him doing that before. Bush get him the black and orange flag, the meatball flag. Oh, as he's wide into Swedenkreuz. Can he get it out of the barriers? Ooh, a light touch, but doesn't look too badly. As Caraballo seemingly has lost connection and is out of the race. That's a real shame. And Warrior with some big damage from the incident that happened earlier on in the lap. I think Black also will have some damage. Scanlan there throwing up some sparks into the carousel. That little bit of banking on the inside helping with the rotation, but if you get on top of that banking, you will definitely scrape off the bottom of your car. And that won't be as nice as a razor blade, that will be more like a chainsaw ripping through the underside of the vehicle. But now Scanlan getting really close to the back of Fitzpatrick. Really close through this section. Now it's either waiting for a mistake of Fitzpatrick or a very good opportunity from Scanlan. Oh, Fitzpatrick going a little bit wide. Rejoin is alright, no contact there, so that's all good. And that is Scanlan up to P13. As Sangari has exited the pit lane again, as Turney nearly had the scariest moment of their lives. Trying to make it through the circuit as quickly as possible, but nearly dropping it after getting a little bit of grass on their tires, going a bit too wide. Oh, and there's BX Royal, and you can see just the extent of the damage on their car. As behind it was Venter, who went off the circuit momentarily, as BX Royal just limping back to the pit lane. I am really curious to see what happened there. Is now on the back straight. You can just see BX Royal not having the top end speed, losing touch with Black up ahead, and Venter just getting closer and closer. But I do think, oh, as BX Royal already braking not trusting the car enough. I think they also have some difficulty with their steering. I would not be surprised to see them coming in to the pit lane. And that is exactly what they are doing. Do not speed into the pit lane, that would be just painful. It was already painful, but that would be even more painful. Ooh, and Wedderson is very close to the back of the Ford Mustang from Winters. The top two are already gone. We're not even 1/3 into this race, and it seems like there will not be any chance of getting a top two position. Although, that's being said, just saw how easily it is to make a mistake, and it can cost you a whole lot of time. As I hear back from Moda, they spun out and unfortunately got collected in this opening section of the track. Hatzenbach, I believe this section is called. Yes, it is. And that's where all the mayhem happened. I believe it started with BX Royal dropping it. And then it was... I'm not sure who exactly was the other driver who crashed, but yeah, a lot has happened. Oh, it was Schmidt, I believe. It was Schmidt who also spun out, reacting to the yellow flag, and then mayhem kicked off. And a little bit further down the road, another yellow flag came out with a driver or a car being stopped in the middle of the road. No way to go for Turney or Black. No, it was Black. Black in the BMW. Yeah, that's just really unfortunate. Which is also unfortunate. Ooh, I was so nearly thinking that Weatherstone would go off there. So close to the grass and at Swedenkreuz. Oh, getting onto the grass there, not a nice thing to say the least. Now we're going down to the Vauxhall. Compression there, going up the hill again. And still so close behind one another. You would think that Weatherstone would chill out a little bit, but seemingly not really. Just applying the pressure, looking for a mistake from Winters for that all important podium position. Because that's looking like the highest achievable today. Still only half a second between them. Still very close. I would not risk driving so close to one another, but hey, that's me, and this is them. Oh, 1/10 in it between the two of them. Don't drive so close to one another, boys. Will there be a cent here? This is a very quick part of the circuit. I cannot really even watch this. Weatherson is playing smart and lifting off. Because side by side going through here. Oh, you don't want to do that. Coming up to the carousel. Losing a little bit of time to Winters there. Not a whole lot though, still half a second between them. Crap. Gotten to about a second, but that's not really unusual to see, seeing that following this closely there will prove some difficulties. Although now 2 seconds, steadily increasing. Winters seemingly enjoying this part of the circuit more than the start of the lap. You can just see that exhaust pipe. Hot, hot, hot. You don't really want to place your hand on that. That would be not nice. I can tell you that much. Oh, Winter's a little bit scruffy out of the mini carousel. As we have Zangari and I believe Glyn in the pit lane. Still Overtaker and Kurtz just running away with it. Can you imagine, even with this long ass straight, still no sixth gear being used by the fourth, as we have number 26 in the background having a little bit of difficulty, and that would be Oliver. Oliver had an issue just up ahead, losing a little bit of time. Oh, and Fitzpatrick going a little bit wide. This can give Mora the run. Already very close by, next to one another. Side by side, it is BMW versus McLaren power, and I think the BMW will win this time round. That bad exit from Fitzpatrick really showing that how important a good exit is out of that final corner before the Dottinga Hoe. As more and more people are pitting now, as we are nearing the halfway point of the race. And they are all coming into the pit lane. Warrior staying out after receiving quite a lot of damage, still seemingly alright to carry on. As there was a brief yellow flag, there's even more of yellow flag. Oh, with Morrow and Freivogel. Did they come together? They might have had a brief touch or something. Or at least carrying some damage. Freivogel seemingly not really impact affected by any mishap, probably just a little spin. There we see Black in the pit lane. What I assume also repairing some damage. And there's Dundee's making their way to the pit lane. Sangari now back out on track after returning to the pit lane after the big incident. Now they've completed their mandatory pit stop. Turney also staying out because they already did their mandatory pit stop. No need to come in again if there is no real need for it. Why should you? Almoda has also returned to the pit lane. I'm now actually interested to see where Van Eyck ended up. They are now in 15th place after being last after the second corner. So I think that worked out well for them. Still, half the race left to go. Anything can still happen, as there's already been a lot to talk about. I think the stewards also might want to have a look at some incidents. But I need to look at those incidents myself before I can make any what do you call it? Any comments?
We are halfway through, not over yet.
Indeed, it's not over yet. Four laps to go still. Oliver still driving around. But Popov just mere 2.5 seconds behind. One of the closest gaps currently on the circuit for position. Gap gotten down to 1.8 seconds. 1.7, so Popov is definitely on the hunt for that Aston Martin ahead. What also makes this circuit so notorious is all these high curbs. There are not really any flat curbs around here. Maybe on the outside, but still really tricky, like this one. And then this one, you cannot really use those curbs at all. But Popov is putting under pressure on Oliver. They are close. They are getting closer and closer. Is it going to be a move? Not quite, not far enough alongside to really scare Oliver away. As the leaders are in the pit lane as well. Oh, and that is so close, but Popov made it work, even lifted up. Oh, and he has fucked it. He has screwed it up. Going in too hot. And that will be some damage on the right hand side of their car. And Oliver will say, well, thank you. I will take that place back more than happy. Scanlan now also coming into the pit lane. For their stop, Moro, Paris, Cabras all in as well. As top 3 have already made their way back out again as there's a yellow flag. And that is Freivogel. Freivogel has seemingly dropped it at the end of the big straight. Oh, and Morer nearly followed them as well. But Freivogel returning back to the pit lane without actually driving to it. That will be a massive implication on their pit stop, because I believe that means that they still need to make another pit stop. And I believe it does mean that, so that would be a big shame. Wetterson now leading this race. Currently in first position, but yet to make their pit stop. So enjoy it while it lasts. Might only be for one lap. If they don't screw it up. That's live on the broadcast, mate. He cut the corner, he's a cheater. Ooh, send him off. Straight 30 second stop go, but no, I'm just joking. I'm joking, it can happen. Nothing to really be worried about, I think. As they just press on for now. This now will be interesting because car 52 has a stop go, and that is for Warrior. So a race where they already crashed going to worse with a stop go penalty to boot as well. And being in a really close fight for position to rub it in. Hello there, Jack. How are you doing? Welcome to the broadcast. So this will be more like an obstruction more than anything for Venter having the Porsche from Warrior in front, because whatever happens they will get out of the way. but only at the end of the lap. And if they get stuck behind them for the whole lap, ooh, that's gonna cost them big time. Oh, that was interesting. That's not the way to go, Blank. You need to go forward in a race, not backwards. Can be a bit tricky at times, I know, but just avoid that gear that says R for reverse. And you should be good. More now on the top 10. Oh, again, I thought that people would drop it at Swedenkreuz. So far, we only seen really Van Eyck doing that. And they got off with some minor damage by the looks of it. But still a close fight for even 8th place. O'Leary 5 seconds behind Ace and 5 seconds ahead of P. Oh no, a little bit more. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong delta. So only, well, 6 seconds now between Paris and O'Leary. Battle for P8, the BMW versus the Bentley. O'Leary so far showing strong. Scannon as well, only 7 seconds behind Morrow. You might think, oh, that's a big gap, but you can lose time or gain time very quickly around here. Just calm down a little bit. No one really close to one another. Popov and Oliver. Gap has grown to 5 seconds now. Is Wilson coming in this lap? No one behind, darkness behind, and except for the lights, darkness ahead. Well, that's obvious, without lights there is darkness. But are they gonna to come into the pit lane? Quite a big lift actually as they hit the brakes. And indeed they go into the pit lane. Slowing it down nicely. Ooh, I think that was perfectly timed for them. Definitely practiced on that a little bit. And Overtaker will retake the lead of this race. Still with the fastest lap of an 8-minute 12.0, which is, let's see, I think would have put them P3 during qualifying, P3 or P4. And to do that in the night with more fuel and relatively more pressure, that's a good one. That's very nicely done. Good, also getting past Weatherston. Weatherston now having completed the pit stop. And Andy Winters is very close, but not close enough to take P3 away. Maybe with some warmer tires and something to chase. It could still all change in the upcoming 3 laps, I think it is even. I think we will just make it for 3 more laps, so 8 laps total. And that could be an implication for some people's strategy. Only 3.7 seconds, 3.8 seconds between a podium and no podium for Winters. Overtaker 15 seconds ahead of Goods, who is in turn 23 seconds ahead of next placed car, Weatherston. Venter did not make it past Warrior throughout the entirety of the lap. Even lost time around 2.5 seconds to Warrior. But Warrior will probably head into pit lane now. No, they continue on. Alright. Happy days. Staying in front of Venter for now. And Scanlan, I believe, starting from P16 somewhere. No, actually, even lower, P22, if I remember correctly, because they didn't set a lap time. A valid lap time, that is. Up to P7. Just imagine what could have been if they did make a valid lap time. Could have started a few positions higher, which in turn could also have ended more or badly. That's just how it is. That's how racing goes. If. To quote someone famous, if my mother had balls, she would have been my dad. Yeah, if. I think BX Royal is also gaining on Oliver. 6.5 seconds right now. The gap between P17 and P16. Between cars 57 and 26. BX Royal, current championship leader in the overall standings, as well as in the gold standings. So they have all to play for. Every single point is just damage limitation. Oliver is now really struggling. BX Royal now only 3 seconds behind, so that will be an overtake probably before the end of the lap even. Two and a half seconds now. It's getting closer and closer. Popov now having overtaken Fitzpatrick for 14th place. And Wellison extending away from Winters behind. In turn, ooh, is that a mistake? You sure that is a mistake? That's even the gravel, maybe even a bit of damage. As is it who I think it is? Was that good? There's a yellow flag for the pit lane. What happened to Goods? The yellow flag for pit lane is for Glyn. Goods has disappeared. What happened to Goods? I think Goods might have disconnected. Which is another shame. That would be a real big shame. As they were on for a very fine B2. This now means that Overtaker has around a 40-second lead. As we have Sangari who has caused an issue in the final corner, but there the Ferrari has gotten going again. There's a white flag, but that's only further up the road after Flugplatz. That was Dundee's for a moment. Now Van Eyck finds himself up in P10. After starting 11th or 13th, somewhere in the region. Just outside of the top 10. Now finds himself inside the top 10. After that early stop, which probably saved him quite a lot of damage and being able to run in clear air. You only want to do so. And now only 6 seconds behind P9. There's Venter in the pit lane. Serving their stop. Warrior now coming in for their stop go 30. I believe Venter did a return to the pit lane. And that's got him going again. And back out on the circuit in some clear air. So that's at least something. Warrior now cleared the penalty and is back underway. Porsche P5, P6, or P4 and P5. That's a nice result for the Porsche, I think. Ford 1-3, Lexus second, Porsche fourth and fifth. And Aston Martin, Bentley and a BMW making up the top 8. Don't see that too often. Not a Ferrari in sight. Even more, a Mercedes making the top 10. Only BMW, Porsche and Ford being a manufacturer that is twice in the top 10. As it stands now, we still have one more lap to go. As Glyn is still in the pit lane. BX now also getting past Fitzpatrick. Actually going really quickly past Fitzpatrick because Oliver's already 12 seconds behind. So definitely on the move. If we take a quick look, like Scanlon, last lap did their personal best lap time of a 8 minutes 17.8, which is a very nice lap time to do in these conditions. Only 2.5 seconds behind Morrow. Could the Aston Martin displace the Porsche from a top 5 finish? Would be one hell of a performance. Oh, so close between the two of them. Looks to me like the Aston Martin has a little bit more top end speed. Gaining around half a second on the middle back straight, or whatever you want to call it, the flat out section. Around the middle of the lap. Still gap stagnating a little bit around the 2 to 2.5 seconds.
Leaders on final lap now.
And there you have it, leader on the final lap. One more lap left to run. Almost could have waited at the finish line. Just make the clock count over. That would not be really in the spirit of racing. Still 40 seconds, not quite 1 minute. Personal best lap time for Weatherson on the penultimate lap of the race, a 8 minute 2 or 8 minutes 15.2 I should say. Winters coming across the line doing an 8 minute 23. So Weatherson there getting 7 seconds on that last lap. Overtaker doing also an 8:16.4. Van Eyck has managed to overtake Moorer for P10, so in turn getting themselves up for P2, P9. As there was a brief white flag. Not quite sure for whom that was. I think it might have been for Fitzpatrick. Half a second between Scanlon and Morrow. Last time round, Scanlon was 4 seconds quicker. So in theory, Scanlon should be able to overtake Morrow at the end of the lap, but that Porsche is going to be the widest Porsche you have ever seen. Especially around this racing circuit. Through Flugplatz we go, looking behind to see the Aston Martin of Scanlon. As I get to know that from Gertz, who was on for a very solid second place had some trouble with their steering wheel and were forced to retire. As there's a yellow flag up ahead, not really the best place you want to have a yellow flag down in Foxhole. I believe it is for Dundee, who's pulled over to the side of the road. Morrow catching a slide, losing a little bit of time, going wide. That could give an opening to Scanlon. Scanlon is up the inside now as they make their way through. The next corner is the left hander. Oh, a slight touch, and Morrow is onto the grass, nearly spins, not quite. Ooh, that's going to be one for the stewards maybe. We'll have to wait and see towards the end of the lap if Morrow can do anything in return to Scanlon. As Dundee is still parked there. As they have no more lights as well. So I think they must have had a big off somewhere. And that's possibly why they were stationary there. Oh, don't come back on the circuit, please. Yes, staying onto the grass. Oh, good. Sangari and Venter still have something to fight for. 1 second, 1 lap to go. They are on the beginning of the Nordschleife now. Let's see where they can end up with. Mora already have dropped over 4 seconds since that little incident, so I think this will go to Scanlon for the top 5 finish, making it 4 different manufacturers in the top 5. Impressive stuff. Oh, and Clint, oh, hit the barrier as well. And now parked almost on the racing line, returning to the pits. Well done for that. I think Dundee should do the same. They're really not in a safe condition with their car. They should probably just return to the pit lane. But we got to say, hats off to this guy, Mr. Overtaker. On the back straight right now. And on to a dominant showing of pace and performance. Already flashing. They are really happy with this one, I can tell. One more braking zone left to go. More than enough margin to the car behind. And after a dominant showing, Overtaker will win round number 6 and claim a dominant victory. And they are really happy with that. As behind they're still being raced. Zongari had a little incident, brief yellow flag for them, losing some time to Venter. Weatherston will come towards the line and take also a maybe somewhat surprising 2nd place and round out this round number 6. Winters next across the line, and like I said, things can always happen, and things did happen for Winters. They claim a podium position at the end of their race. Very well done to them. There they're just parked on the road, Weston and Overtaker side by side, maybe chatting a little bit to each other about how it all went down. Cabra's next one to cross the finish line. They'll take 4th place, with Scanlon taking home P5 in the end. Very nicely done. A last lap overtake from Scanlon on Morrow saw Morrow fall outside of the top 5, but still a very good result. Getting the car home. Ooh. Nearly home in one piece as they cross the finish line to take P6. I'm sorry for the constant flashbangs. If you are a bit epileptic, you might not really want to watch this. As Paris gets home in 7th place. Nicely done. Not a real fight going on circuit anymore. It's just coming home to the finish line. Think Black might have an issue. Going awfully slow. Maybe they didn't account for the amount of fuel needed. Get back on the black stuff, man. That's quicker. I say, no battles. This is one hell of a battle for P9. Oh, but a big twitch for more. Sees any chance go straight out of the door. BX Royal claws their way back up to P number 9 and Moro will finish in P10. Very nicely done. Popov will finish in P10 and then it will be Oliver who will finish, oh sorry, P11 and then it will be Oliver who will finish in P12 I think. Venter will come home in 14th place, just ahead of Zangari, who had a very troubled race, one could say. Warrior, even with the 30-second stop go, will still finish in a very respectful position. I've lost track of what position everyone is in. It's a bit messed up on the timing screen, as you might have guessed. I think Black will come to the finish line very, very slowly. Maybe they are sporting some damage. I'm not sure. Anyway, they will not lose out on any more position. They will just not gain any more. But that was pretty obvious, I think. So right now it's only Fitzpatrick, Black, and Vogel on circuit. So 2 cars left to finish. If they're going to finish, Freivogel trying to just get a little bit more damage on the car. Porsche can handle it. No big deal. Only fender damage. Don't think so, it is only fender damage, but hey, we will give it a go. Who cares? And there is Black. Oh, and there goes Freivogel. I am interested what is going on with Black. So at least they're now on the back straight. Now fully pushing down on the pedal. Well, I can definitely say that there's some damage to that car. I mean, you can hear the tire rubbing. The tire should not rub, especially not on straight. Oh, look at how much they need to turn. There's no turning in that car. I think that's the reason why they were so awfully slow. Come on, mate. Only there. Nearly there. Nearly there. You can do it, mate. Already gonna save the replay. You can do it. Nearly there. Nearly there. You can do it. You can do it. And they come across the line. And we'll finish in P16. So that is the final result. Overtaker wins by over 40 seconds from Weatherston. Then Winters will make out the top 3, with Cabras and Scanlon making up the top 5. Then Morrow, Paris, O'Leary, Van Eyck and BX Royal make up the top 10, with Moore, Popov, Oliver, Warrior, Fitzpatrick, Black, Turney, Venter, Zangari, then Freivogel in top 20. Dundies, Moda, Gertz, Glynn, Schmidt, Caraballo and Bayliss all did not finish the race. All retired before the end. It still was a cracking race, to say the least. Thanks all for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Actually, before I say goodbye to you all, let's first take a quick look at the replay to see what the hell happened on lap 2. Because there was a lot to go over. So let's see, we toggle on the HUD. So let's see who is all the way up ahead. There we go. So we need to go back in time a little bit. Quite a bit back in time. Alright, so there we go. So first it was... Oh, that's bloody wrong button. I hope they change some stuff around with ACC because this is just bullshit. Alright, so don't click this one. This one. So, PX Royal. What happened to you? Oh, yeah. That's an easy mistake to make. Getting onto the curb. Oh! Take a look at that save. So going out wide, managing to brake on the grass, sliding, and just have a little scrape off the barrier. That could have ended so much worse. Ooh la la. So then further behind. Oh! That's a bad one. That's a real bad one from Schmidt. Probably being blindsided by Andy Winters in front. Oh no, indeed they got onto the grass themselves and then just fully smacked them. Oh, ay. Everyone else. Oh, nearly them as well. I think everyone else got past cleanly. Ooh, close one again. So that was all right then. Further up ahead, we have Black here. So first off, we ride along with Black, who gets a little bit of slide and gets back on the circuit. And then what happened then? I think it was... Oh yeah. Actually, Black got off very alright. That could have ended much worse. So let's see what happened to Omoda. So there we have BX Royal, who was heavily damaged. Going in a bit too hot. Oh, and then a bit of a weird bounce. Oh, don't stop there. Oh. Ay. That's really bad. I think the stewards will definitely take a look at that. Oh, and then we stop it again. Whoops. And then, oh, too far back. Then we have this Ferrari. Sangari, what happened to him? Absolutely blindsided. Nothing they could have done. If we just take a look from their perspective. Yeah, no time to react. Nothing they could have done. So, bit of a shame. That's how it usually goes with racing. Actually, who is this? Venter. Really lucky to escape all that carnage. Oi. That was real lucky, but yeah, that was a big one. That was like 6 cars involved. That's gonna be a rough one for the stewards, I think. Anyway, now I am going to end off the stream. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you next week for some more racing. Next week we are at... Let me quickly see. Next race we are at Imola for round number 7. So until then, have a good one. Bye bye.